Over the years, I've shown you many stately homes and gardens in the UK, but you don't have to travel to Europe because my next destination is in South Australia. But even so, when you're heading to a place with this much heritage and pedigree, it definitely pays to arrive in style. Thank you, Peter.
Hello, Graham. You've made it. Welcome to Carrickhill.
Thank you very much. It's lovely to be here. Carrickhill is a magnificent 40-hectare estate perched high in the foothills of Adelaide. Built in 1939, it was the home of Sir Edward Bill Hayward, son of a prominent merchant family, and his wife, Lady Ursula, the daughter of a family with both pastoral and mining interests. Today, the estate is owned by the state and run by the Carrickhill Trust. We'll look around the house later, but first up, I want to show you around the gardens. Coming off the grand driveway is this huge, welcoming terrace filled with geraniums and lots of flower rugosa roses. And up the back there, a very rare and unusual shrub, Iochroma, with its deep cobalt blue flowers. Everything here is really tough. When it came to the garden layout, Ursula was the designer and also the hands-on gardener, and she had an absolute love of all things English, which would flow through the house out into the landscape. From the front of the house, they've used these beautiful lawn terraces to accommodate the slope. It all has a grand view over the city of Adelaide and St Vincent Gulf beyond. At its peak, the gardens here at Carrickhill boasted some 1,300 roses. Ursula didn't just like her roses, she loved them. So much so that she'd go down to Adelaide to the Rose Society exhibitions and find out what were the gold medal winners and get their names and get them propagated and grown, and here they are. To add to Ursula's legacy, in 1990, 20 years after her death, a whole new heritage rose garden was planted. And today, head gardener Neil and his team look after the estate. It's not just any old rose garden, it's filled with famous Australian legendary rose breeder, Alistair Clark roses.
Yeah, Alistair Clark was one of the first famous Australian rose breeders, and it was decided to honour him and Ursula.
So what does it mean to you, Neil, to work in a garden with such incredible heritage and with a home, a great Australian heritage?
It's a great honour, actually. I take a lot of pride in what we do here. You know, this place belongs to the people of South Australia. The Haywoods are very generous and they bequeathed it to the state.
Yeah.
So we try and encourage the general public to come up here and enjoy it as much as possible.
Absolutely. And in keeping with the English tradition, there's a beautiful cottage garden with its pretty sweeps of cottage plantings, all protected by a neatly clipped Monterey cypress pine hedge. Underneath these magnificent elm trees, it takes you to a very unique feature here at Carrickhill, a beautiful pleached arbour where the trees are trimmed and trained really tightly onto a frame. Now, in England, in the stately homes, they would be hornbeam or lime. But no, not here. The Haywoods actually chose fruiting pears, and they're starting to fruit right now. Beyond the gardens, there's now a storybook trail, which takes kids on an interactive journey through 12 classic tales, like The Hobbit and Charlotte's Web.
Charlotte's Web, published 1952. Why is that coming out there?
And opening on the trail this August is a newly planted centenary walk celebrating the great Aussie children's author May Gibbs and her tales of the Gumnut Babies. There's not only all of that fun to play with for the children, but there's this veggie patch as well. And you never can tell, you just might see Peter Rabbit.
Hey, look, I can see a big tomato. And those ones are almost orange.
They're almost yellow and orange.
They're still growing.
Who likes tomatoes?
Me.
Me? You like tomatoes?
I like tomatoes too.
Yeah, tomato sauce. No shortage of things to do, that's for sure. Now, gardens as magnificent as these should have a house to match, and that is certainly true of Carrick Hill. Wow, what an amazing entrance. I guess
Sir
that's his...
Edward Hayward, that's right.
He's looking very relaxed.
He looks very comfortable indeed.
And in surroundings like this, I can see why. Wow, look at this.
It's very impressive, is it not?
It is very impressive. At the heart of the manor is the original Tudor staircase. In 1935, on their English honeymoon, Bill and Ursula found the staircase, wall panelling and architraves at an old stately home that was due for demolition. They bought the lot and shipped it all back to Adelaide.
They commissioned a local young architect to build them a house around all of the bits and pieces that they bought.
The epicentre of high society, parties and soirees. Today, the home is like a virtual time capsule, still filled with the Haywoods' vast antique furniture and immense art collection. And for intimate meals, Bill and Ursula took their guests back in time to the 17th century in their dramatic British oak-panelled dining room. Visitors can also take a peek upstairs, where the sumptuous furnishings and antiques continue.
Oh, we're heading into the master bedroom, Graham.
Right, and a beautiful big room it is too.
It is
Bit more
gorgeous.
oak from the...
Yes, it is oak, but that's a gorgeous tester bed.
This is rather familiar, though. Why do I
Yes.
recognise this?
Well, it's a wonderful example of William Morris's work. The design was specially created for the Bar-Smith family.
Right, for her family.
Her family, that's right. But it was actually all hand-embroidered by Ursula's mother.
Good gracious me.
Yeah,
And all these beautiful windows looking out into...
all onto the garden. She was very fond of her garden, and she was very keen to create this illusion of the garden being indoors as much as it was outdoors.
And another lovely way Ursula brought her flowers indoors was to capture them on canvas. Now, to do that, she'd make great floral arrangements and send them to her up-and-coming artist friends in Sydney and Melbourne to paint. And today, many of those iconic paintings are still on display in the house. A true Aussie treasure, Carrick Hill House and Garden is appreciated by thousands of visitors every year. A fascinating glimpse into a long-lost bygone era. But when you come here, you can still feel that amazing spirit right till this very day.